welcome to Conspiracy in Real Time, also known as The Dark Matters, the greatest show on earth. I am your THC medicated, totally unregulated host, Joshua Stonecutter. We're going to keep it really simple today. All we're going to talk about is, it's never really that simple, but we're going to talk about the 17th letter of the alphabet and how that relates to you being targeted by the Department of Homeland Security, and how that translates to you being basically put on what amounts to, I believe, a terrorist watch list, right? Let me walk you through the steps on how they do it. It's actually really simple, okay? Because just to be clear, I believe this is what's happened to me, all right? And I have a number of different things to point at to where I can say, this is why I believe I am on the list. This is why. Let me just tell you one of them real quick. I went to my local, and this is like not that long ago. This is after I'm 95% sure, okay? I'm 95% sure that I'm on the list, right? I walk into my local police station, right? Guess what happens? My cell phone stops working, right? It won't work. It won't call out. So they block, my calls start getting blocked. They pull in 2 squad cars into the entrance. So they're blocking the entrance with 2 cars. The lights aren't on. They just pull up there and just sit there. And I'm like, oh. You see, this was before I knew that they were all playing this what I call the game, or the adrenaline game. You have to understand all this stuff that I figured out. It was around the time that I knew that that's what they were doing. I knew that I was being heavily messed with. And I couldn't figure out if they were monitoring me to see if I was going to harm myself or harm another person, or if they were just psychologically messing with me. And what it is just psychologically messing with me. So anyways, on the surface, they had no clue why I was walking in there. I'm just a local resident. This police station is 10 blocks from my house. This is not that far, right? And I just went in there to just ask them some questions about some stuff to do with some things. It's irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I came busting in there and I was just walked in and said, hey, I'd like to speak with, officer and a detective or whatever. Okay, so cell phone stops working. I go out front and I'm just milling around, you know what I mean? That's when the cars pull in. I end up meeting with this detective and police officer. We spoke for probably about 20, 30 minutes, right? Oh, okay, let me back up a little bit. When I'm standing out front and my cell phone's not working and the 2 police pull in, I was like, yo, I know that I haven't done anything wrong, and I wasn't effed up or anything. So it's I was just are they doing what I think they're doing? So I walked over to their cars, right? And I got down next to his window. I said, hey, this is literally what I did. I said, hey, I know what you guys are doing. You know what I mean? And I said something about witchcraft doesn't work on me. Possibly. I think I did. But then I just said, he was like, what? I said, look, there's not going to be any false flag today. And when I said that, he was like, whoo. And he looked at his other guy and I was like, there's not going to be any false flag today. Because I keep jokingly saying that I'm in false flagler, right? That's what I call it. Anyway, so when I go to leave, boom, news helicopter right up front. So, flying or, So all that stuff happened. I spoke with them. When I went to leave, there's the news helicopter out front. I'm like, are you kidding me? You guys put so much that's what happened. Let me tell you what happened. They put so much chatter out on the radio because of me walking into that police station that it caused the news helicopter to fly to my city from, I believe, Daytona. Real talk. I've never seen that news helicopter. I'm looking out over the ocean right now. I can't see the water, but I can see the sky all above the water. Do you see what I'm saying? I see planes and helicopters and stuff fly by all the time. And I've never seen the news helicopter before then, and I haven't seen it since then. I've been here for about a year, a little bit over a year. Okay, so there's no other explanation for that. Like, I keep in mind, I went in there like knowing that I'm on the list and expecting some kind of something like that. Now this was like I knew that I was being messed with, but I hadn't put all the pieces together. I think I actually had at that point. It was bothering me that that's what they were doing. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I hadn't put all the pieces together, but I knew what they were doing had something to do with trying to get me to do something regrettable. And that's the funny thing, is that in their minds, okay, this is what they believe that they have with me, right? Let me tell you. And when I say they, we all know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the SS, all right? You can call them the secret societies, the sneaky sneaks, the amphibian sea creatures, whatever you want. I do not think they are lizards at all. Let me tell you why. The reason I do not believe that they are, all right, so I'm getting off topic. But the reason I don't think that they are is because there's so much info out there about that is what they are. Do you see what I'm saying? That is one of the main reasons. Also, because of what I have seen and experienced and what I am continuing to see and continuing to experience. Now, of course, I could be wrong. This is just my opinion. I don't think they are lizards. I think they're some kind of amphibians. And that would make sense too. You know, it really would make sense. It would also make a lot more sense when it comes to all the swamp smell that I'm smelling. Okay, so I got really off track. All I was trying to tell you is the point of that story about me walking into the police station like a month or two ago to talk to them about something not. The funny thing is what I went to talk to them about has had nothing and everything to do with me being on the DHS watch list. I went to speak with them about just some strange things that I had discovered about some people that are very close to me, and I was like, look, I'm not trying to like file like please, I just need to speak with, and they really, the conversation went well. Of course, I haven't heard a word back from them, The questions were very simple. I wanted to know what was located at an address here in Florida. I was like, look, I want to know what is this? What is this building? And because there's very conflicting information on the internet about it. And there's conflicting information coming from the people who live in the area around the building. Very conflicting. I'll just leave it at that for now, okay? It doesn't look good, though. And this is here in Florida. Isn't it interesting? Let me mess with this. Isn't it interesting that they always want us focused everywhere else? Oh, yeah. No, it's overseas. It's over in Europe. It's over... No. It's in your neighborhood, okay? It's in your city. All right, so getting off track. This is how they bamboozle you. And let me tell you how they bamboozle you, okay? First, you have friends or coworkers who are, quote, friends. Notice the quotes, big air quotes there. I do air quotes ironically, by the way, like as a joke. Do you see? Like, I'm not an actual air quotes person, but like I have to use them with this subject matter. Anyways, a friend or relative, you know what I'm saying, will get you into the 17th letter of the alphabet stuff. I won't even, I'm not being facetious, I'm not exaggerating. I won't even say the letter, because there is a chance that right now, man, I've probably already said stuff on this channel that'll get my whole channel deleted unknowingly. 15 years from now, I haven't said the G word. I'm not going to even say the 17th letter of the alphabet. But anyways, so what they do is they first get you into all the conspiracy stuff, right? And then they hit you with conspiracy stuff that isn't true, that's just ludicrous. And once they get you believing that, around whenever it's appropriate, they hit you with the 17th letter of the alphabet stuff. Okay. Now, once they do that, they have you on the hook. Okay. What is better? What do you think is easier, you guys? All of this insanity actually really going on behind the scenes, or them making you believe in your heart, like you really believe it, with the 17th letter of the alphabet, with all that stuff from the internet when it comes to the 17th letter of the alphabet, and it comes to all this P stuff, PED stuff, right? Like, they have you on the hook, and oh yeah, you believe that all these things are taking place. I even was seeing on TikTok a couple days ago, people were saying, yeah, it's rumored that the reason they're going into Ukraine is because there's a lot of stuff related to the 17th letter of the alphabet and all that stuff, and it's like super secret. No. Let me tell you what is going on, really going on with the 17th letter of the alphabet stuff. Okay? If you are foolish enough to talk about the J man, right? The person who many people worship, whose name starts with a J, if you're foolish enough to say his name or the 17th letter of the alphabet, let me tell you what you're doing. And this is just the truth, you guys. Let me tell you what you're doing. You are setting off fireworks and waving flags above your head that says to the people that you're working with, or the people in your community or your circle of friends, right? What you're doing is you are basically getting, by talking about this stuff, which is what they want you to do, right? So let me just, because I talk all over the place. So let me just tell you where I'm at and what we're talking about. They get you on the 17th letter of the alphabet stuff, right? They get you believing that there's this war going on behind the scenes and we can't see any of it because it's so gruesome and so horrible that it would upset the American public. Now, you can't have something that's just full of lies and bull crap, because people are going to figure out really, really quick that it is just that it's just a bunch of bull crap, right? So what the 17th letter of the alphabet stuff does is they utilize a lot of stuff that really is going on, that really has happened. And what I have done is I have basically taken that information to the next logical conclusion. All right. Now, in my experience over the last couple of years, what I have found is that the Department of Homeland Security and the FBI, they are the ones participating and running all of this stuff. There is no 17th letter of the alphabet, whatever going on behind the scenes. Let me tell you what's going on behind the scenes in terms of like people trying to stop this stuff. Nothing. I'm absolutely nothing is being done. That is the truth. Okay? If you were foolish enough, like I was, okay? Like, not foolish, all right? Trusting enough or whatever, to dive down the rabbit hole of the 17th letter of the alphabet, you probably by now have put together a few pieces, especially with the symbols and things. Let me tell you what this is about. This is about all of us, the people who do not know. This is part of them informing us as to what's happening. And the what's happening, the what's really going on, it's every single pastor at every single church in America. That is what's really going on. It's every single pastor at every single church in America. It's every single sheriff's department. It's absolutely every single politician. And this is the interesting thing about it, is that the 17th letter of the alphabet and the PED stuff, that is just a stepping block to the P stuff is just the next step to the blood. That's where and it's hard. Look, how easy would it be to get distracted for the rest of your life with just a bunch of sex stuff and drugs. You know, that's what they have most people doing. But for those who want to get into the red velvet, you can't. I don't think you can just buy it with money. I think you have to actually like sell your soul, sell your whole family into slavery just to get access to the red velvet, I believe. And it looks like a lot of people, this stuff is just so sick. From what I can tell you guys, there I have come across, I'm trying to find, this is where I'm at, you guys. I'm trying to find families in my hometown who are not involved in the trafficking stuff. I mean, I don't really know how else to put it. I was like trying to figure out who was kind of involved with this stuff and who wasn't, and it led me back to my church. It led me back to my family and my hometown. It was very disturbing, beyond disturbing, right? But now it's like I'm trying to find people from there that aren't involved in it, and I can't. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. We are the oddballs out. Oddballs out. It, and I guess it's always been this way. I don't know. You know, I have no idea. But I'm telling you, that's the deal. That's the way it is. Okay, so what I'm trying to talk about is how they get you to target yourself and how they get you to get yourself on the DHS watch list. I don't know if you're seeing it yet or if you've put it together with what I'm talking about, but let me break it down for you because I talk all over the place, right? They get you into the conspiracy theory stuff, which is enough. Just if you have the Reddit app downloaded to your phone and you use it and you're posting stuff, that's the first step in getting group stalked right there. Using the Reddit app and posting it. Reddit is gang stalking. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, there's not people on Reddit that participate in it. Reddit is an intricate piece of group stalking and gang stalking and targeted individuals, as is Facebook. Facebook is, they're using that to... Okay. This is what I'm trying to say, all right? There are people with Q clearance. They're walking around amongst us. And they're at your jobs. They're at your schools. They're at your churches. So whenever you start talking about all the 17th letter of the alphabet stuff, the people who have that clearance, I know I just said it a second ago, but it'll be fine, I'm sure, because I was using it in a different context, right? But like, the people with that clearance will then start chatting with you. They'll get you to say all sorts of stuff, and they're recording you the whole time with their cell phones. All this stuff goes to some, kangaroo court that none of us ever know about, that we'll never ever see, some military court somewhere, because guess what? Technically, we're at war right now, you guys. You have to pay attention to all this stuff that the 17th letter of the alphabet crap has been saying. That's all going to be used on us. Everything is like backwards and opposite. And the whole 17th letter of the alphabet thing is there as part of like waking all of the people like me up to what is really going on. That's the purpose of it. There's nothing going on behind the scenes. Nothing is being done. And if you are foolish enough to call the human trafficking hotline to report some of this crap, then they will definitely start targeting you. Because unless somebody is playing a cruel joke on me, okay, it looks like it is the 3-letter agencies, the DHS, the FBI, they're the ones running this stuff with the help of the sheriff's departments. Period. Now, that's just an opinion. Could be totally wrong, right? Like I said, maybe somebody is playing a joke on me, right? And like has hacked my phone and is showing me this stuff on the internet, that stuff on the internet. If I was a betting man, and I sometimes am, like a couple times a year, right? Like, gambling's an addiction. But I'm not like a gambling person. I don't like to, but sometimes I'll buy a lottery ticket here or there. I won $100 not that long ago, and then I like spend it all on lottery tickets. You know? Okay, anyways, and I forgot what I was talking about. Classic. I was like on a really good roll there too. Yeah, if you're foolish enough to call, okay. Oh yeah, this is what I was gonna say. From what I can tell, it's okay. It's the DHS, 100%. It is the DHS and the FBI that are overseeing all this stuff, right? And it is the CIA that I believe is mostly involved in the drug trafficking. You know what I mean? I mean, they. This is the weird thing. They want us knowing this. That's the weird thing about it. They want us knowing that Disney World in Orlando, I think that place is. I think there are kids that go there, and they get on a ride, and then they're like, they think they've just been on a ride and got off, but really like a year went by and they've been down underneath the earth or something. Or like they go on a ride and then they get off. That's all they know. They got on It's a Small World. They got off It's a Small World, but really 3 hours went by and some horrible things happened to them. Look, from what I've gathered, I don't think all the extraction stuff is happening at the time of death, you guys. I think some of it's happening like, if I told you what I really think, you guys would think I'm crazy. Like, that's why I hesitate all the time with some of the stuff I'm saying, because I'm like, there's just no way this is true, but it just keeps turning out to be true every time. All of my little, there's just no way this is true, have turned out to be true. Okay, anyways. So I think you understand what I'm saying. I think you understand my point. They get you talking, okay? They get you bumping your gums about the 17th letter of the alphabet stuff, which then cues and clues off all of the people with actual clearance. And there's probably one or two at pretty much every single job in America. They're all over the place, you guys, and they're all in the SS. All right. So then once they know they have somebody like that, then they get some recordings. They get you saying some stuff that would, like, make you sound like an extremist or make you sound like some kind of a dealer or something like that. They'll egg you on. And you think you're just out back talking with some people from work. And what if you want to impress them a little bit? What if you embellish a little bit, Okay, so then they take this information, they use it, it goes somewhere. You don't stop. You know what I'm saying? They keep feeding you stuff to make you think you're right, blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, you're being targeted and group stalked. I'm serious. That's the deal. That's the deal. They get you to do it to yourself, is what I'm saying. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like they get you to do it, they egg you on and get you to do it to yourself. Or at least that was my story. And I said the whole time, I said, look, I'm not like putting all my faith in this 17th letter of the alphabet stuff. Like, I haven't seen anything happen. And my faith tells me to only, put trust in the good Lord. So why would I put all my trust in somebody on the internet that could be a fat guy in a basement or could be like some kind of psyop? And it looks like it absolutely looks like a psyop. That's what it looks like. This is the crazy thing. An evil, 666 psyop. That's the interesting thing. It's so multi-purpose. And you'll hear me say that a lot, but it's multi-purpose, right? So like it's to wake up the population to what's really going on. And then once you start doing the stuff that I've basically been doing, which I'm sure there's plenty of other people out there who've gone down the same road I've gone down, they're just not posting on the internet about it because it's a lot, you know what I mean? But like, that's when you actually take some little action yourself and try to see, that's when you will see that there's nothing going on. And I think another point of the whole 17th letter of the alphabet is to get people to do nothing. Because if you believe, if you really actually believe in your mind and in your heart that like all this stuff is all, there's this battle going on behind the scenes, and the whole, and there was one line that always I really bothered me. Get your popcorn, sit back and get your popcorn, watch the show, enjoy the show. Like, oh yeah, we got this. You don't have to do anything. No, absolutely not. There, it's and then it's complete foolishness. And then you believe it, and then you start talking about it, and that is when the targeting starts. Do you understand? And it will be you. You may not notice it for like 6 months or a year, but if you continue on, eventually, and if you are alert enough to what is happening around you, you will realize, like, holy crap, we're all being group stalked. You know what I mean? And it's really weird because this is the interesting thing, is that a lot of times they're not actually following you around. This is the way it works. You show up to Walmart. There's 10 of them there. I don't know how they do it exactly, but they know you're there. They know that you're there. And then they just kind of do their bull crap. You know? It's mostly just, it's really interesting because it's all meant to slowly frustrate you. Not at that moment, maybe at that moment, maybe not. It's this sick game that they play to get, and this is the end goal. The end goal is to get somebody, because this is the thing. There is no 3-letter agency coming to get you. You're not being monitored and followed around. There's somebody playing a trick on you to make you think that you're being monitored and followed around. And part of that is to actually monitor you and follow you around at times. It's very confusing. But the idea is to get your own brain to attack itself. Okay? And if you start believing that there's actual like directed energy weapons and things beaming sounds and things like that in your head, man, you're effed. You know what I'm saying? Because your brain will actually start to manifest stuff like that. And if you have tinnitus from like playing in a band or being a DJ like me, your brain can like, oh, that noise is something else. Oh, there's people talking to me and all this insanity. No. Your own brain is attacking yourself because, you know, we're living in a society filled with SS people, and this is what they do. This is the end goal, and is to basically get the subject to have, I call it a conniption fit. I don't know what they call it, but I call it a conniption fit, where they have an anxiety attack to where they're just like, they get riddled with so much stress and anxiety and adrenaline, and it gets overwhelming, and their body just like shuts down. And hopefully for them, hopefully, quote unquote, for them, hopefully there's some of them around when this happens, so they can. The rest I don't even want to talk about right now. But I know that seems weird. Like, how does me watching videos or researching stuff about the 17th letter of the alphabet, all that stuff on the internet, how does that end up leading to me, you know, being group stalked and having a conniption fit? I think I just explained it to you. You know, it took me a little bit of time, but I feel like I explained it several different ways, kind of, but that's the deal. The SS people in our society get you on the conspiracy theory stuff, then the 17th letter of the alphabet stuff. Somebody just said, I believe you, Josh. They did it to me too. Yeah. Then they get you talking about it. Then they get you posting about it. But all this stuff is going to the DHS. It's all going to like your local sheriff's department. And, oh, look what we have here. We have a male who is a potential terrorist threat. That's that. Boom. That's literally what it is. And you think, oh, now they're worried about me and what I'm doing because they think I'm a terrorist threat. No, that's actually not it. They want you to believe that they think you're a terrorist threat. How's that for mind effery? They don't believe you're a terrorist threat. They know you're not. But they know that if they treat you semi like one and then make you think that there's people following you around, you might end up having an adrenaline crushing conniption fit. I disapprove. This is their sign of disapproval. I disapprove of this person. So ridiculous. I disapprove. And then this is another one. I'm not sure, but this one may actually mean that you're available to F. I don't know. Yeah, somebody said they're literally seeding mass shooters. Yeah, I don't like to do a lot. I don't like to chat on my. But yeah, that's totally it. And I've said that before. And I was getting at that earlier. Thank you for bringing that up. I was getting at that earlier, and I'll close with this because I was starting to say that at the beginning. I was programmed, and what they believe they have in me, is this person where if they push all the right buttons, I'll freak out and do something crazy. And if they're really if they're really lucky, I'll do it in the name of the J-Man, or I'll do it in the name of the 17th letter of the alphabet, or I'll do it because I hate all the PED or whatever. But it'll be something, that will like be detrimental. They have like a Manchurian candidate of sorts. Yeah, the Manchurian candidate is a little bit more snap your fingers, and they do this. Oh yes, mother. Blah blah blah. This is different than that because, but it's the same idea. It is the same idea, the exact same idea. With the idea being, psychological conditioning, psychological manipulation, aka mind control, brainwashing, right? And let me tell you something. I sent my dad text messages one night about how I was, I don't want to say too much, but it basically had to do with something catching fire. When I went for a walk on the beach, like an hour later, they had like two sheriff's cars parked outside the building that I was talking about with my dad on the phone. I was like, you know what I'm saying? So stuff like that will start happening, right? But, and eventually you'll have no choice but to say, okay, obviously. But let me be very clear. They know that you're not a threat. They know that they're treating people who they know are not threats as complete threats in hopes that they will turn them into threats or have them eventually do the conniption fit thing. And I've seen the conniption fit thing actually go down in real life, like in an AA meeting. I've talked about it before. You can go watch my previous videos if you want to find that. But anyway, so yeah, like it's insane. And of course, we're brought up to believe that we live in this free country and we can say whatever we want, blah, 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 blah. No, but what they believe that they have in me, or what that they've read, is like this person that will, destroy himself, whatever. Not today. It's not happening today. That's all I can say. It's not happening today. But, that's really it, man. That's really all I had to talk about, was just, because I was thinking about that when I was driving, about how, like, man, they just get us. This is what happened. I was at the courthouse, and I saw a picture that said, know the signs of human trafficking, report it to the Department of Homeland Security. And I was like, oh, no. I need to talk about that on my show. Like, if you call them and tell them you think you know about some trafficking stuff, like, then they're going to be like, oh, who is this looky-loo? I mean, that is where we're at. Oh, who is this looky-loo? Oh, reporting stuff? Oh, we're gonna send some sheriffs around his place. Maybe he won't think about reporting stuff anymore. And it's weird because, yeah, but that's what made me think about doing this episode on this stuff, because I was like, man, they are getting us to target ourselves. They're getting us to shoot up fireworks and wave flags over our heads saying, hey, man, I disagree with everything you guys are doing. And then they know we have a disagree, or we have somebody, you know what I mean? Because we all think that the majority of the people in this country think all that PED stuff is bad, right? That's what we think. The majority of the people in this country, I'm afraid, are either engaging in it or like complacent in it. And that isn't even the worst stuff that's going on. That's just a stepping block to something way, way, way worse. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end with that. Thanks for watching. Peace.